Welcome back to the Conversion Bible. Today's deep dive into really optimizing those Shopify store conversions is actually powered by Growth Suite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Growth Suite is awesome, by the way. It helps you run those smart discount campaigns on your Shopify store.
Smart.
Yeah,
I like that.
super smart. And you can test it for free, actually.
Really?
Yeah, just go to the Shopify App Store, just search for it, and boom, test it for free. So check that out. But let's dive into, what we're really here to talk about. Have you ever been, just scrolling through an online store?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, like looking for something super simple, like a new coffee mug. And suddenly, bam, you're hit with this wall of colors and sizes and materials. Like, do you want a travel mug? Do you want a ceramic mug? Do you want it engraved?
Oh, and the customizations. Don't forget the customizations. Like, I just wanted a simple mug.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I came in here for a 2-minute decision. And now I'm I don't even know what a mug is anymore.
Things just shut down.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I just use my old one. That's what I do.
I feel that. And you know what? That feeling, that's actually exactly what we're digging into today, right? You would think, more choices, more options equals happier customers. But the data really says otherwise.
Really?
Yeah, there's research showing that too many options could actually be killing your sales. We're even going to break down a study later on that suggests simplifying your offerings, like really cutting them down.
Good 10x your pace.
Okay, I am all ears. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So our mission today, well, we're going to understand why this happens to us, in our brains, right?
Yeah.
How it impacts your Shopify conversion rates.
Yes.
Yes, you, listener.
You listening right now.
Exactly. And the super practical steps you can actually take to simplify those product pages and turn those just browsing folks into buyers.
I love that.
So we're going to explore the psych behind it all. We'll look at some real-life examples of stores that are crushing it by keeping it simple.
Yeah, and we'll even get a little technical, the nitty-gritty of how to actually make these changes happen.
I'm excited for that.
All right, so if you're running a Shopify store and you're ready to, ditch the overwhelm, stop scaring away your customers, and start actually seeing real growth in your numbers, you're in the right spot. Let's start by understanding, what's going on in your customer's head when they're faced with this mountain of choices.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
What makes us, freeze up?
Well, it all comes down to what we call, choice overload.
Good.
There's this awesome book by Barry Schwartz called The Paradox of Choice. Really lays the foundation here.
Mm-hmm.
And, he argues, and he's got the research to back it up, that more choice actually leads to decision fatigue.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Think about it. You've had a long day, right? You're exhausted. You come home, open your fridge, and you're staring at 20 different ingredients. Suddenly figuring out dinner feels like climbing Mount Everest.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's at that point, I'd rather just order takeout,
Right. You just want someone to decide for you.
Yes.
And that mental exhaustion, right.
Yeah.
That's what your customers are feeling when they hit a product page with a zillion options, when they see endless variations.
Mm-hmm.
Several things happen. First, cognitive overload.
Okay.
Right. Our brains can only handle so much info at once. Each extra option is like another app running in the background, slowing down your computer. Everything just starts to lag.
So it's not even just about having a lot of info. It's our limited capacity to deal with it.
Exactly. And that overload leads to analysis paralysis.
Oh, yeah.
More options, harder to compare. They're stuck trying to weigh the pros and cons of every shade of blue, every fabric, and then they choose nothing.
Right.
They came to your store to consider and then choose. But too many options up front. The consider step becomes impossible.
Yeah, and so you don't even just lose the sale right then and there, do you? Even if someone somehow manages to crawl through all those options and actually buy something, they're probably not going to feel great about it afterwards, are they?
No, and not really. Post-purchase satisfaction actually goes down.
Really?
Yeah. When people have too many options, they second guess.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
What if I had picked the other size, the other color?
Yeah.
This leads to regret. And for you, more returns.
Oh, no, that's not good. So I think it's interesting, though, you said this is even worse for mobile shoppers.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, think about it. Smaller screens, harder to see all those options at once.
Yeah.
Touch interfaces, great for a lot of things, but clunky with long lists and tiny swatches. Plus, people on their phones, they're usually in a hurry, on the go, right? They've got even less patience for a complicated process.
Yeah, they want to find what they need and get out of there.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. Okay, so we get it. Our brains are not wired for this online buffet of choices. But how does this actually translate into lost revenue?
Ooh, this is where it gets real.
Okay.
Remember that jam study I mentioned?
Yeah.
Researchers set up a tasting booth.
Okay.
One table had 24 jams, the other just 6. Guess which sold more?
I'm going to guess the 6.
You got it.
Okay.
Now, get this. More people stopped at the 24 jam table.
Okay, so more people were attracted to it.
Totally. But the 6 jam table sold 10 times more.
What? 10 times?
10 times.
That's wild.
It's a huge difference, and it shows that more isn't always better.
No kidding. So offering every possible option can backfire big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
And this applies across the board. Shopify stores that simplify their options see massive conversion increases. We're talking like 25% to 40% jumps. Think what that could do for your business.
That would be huge. And it's not just about the people who don't buy anything at all.
Right. Yeah.
What about those folks who add stuff to their cart and then just disappear?
Oh, cart abandonment.
Yikes.
Another biggie made worse by choice overload.
Really?
Every extra choice you make a customer go through, cart abandonment risk goes up by about 10%.
Wow.
Think about those long checkout forms, the endless customizations right before they buy. It's killer.
So you're like so close to getting them to buy.
Yeah.
But then you like throw up this last minute obstacle course and they're just like, nope, I'm out.
Exactly. They bail. And it's not just immediate sales, right?
Yeah.
Choice overload slows down everything. People take longer to decide, which means more chances to get distracted, find a competitor, or just change their minds completely.
Makes sense.
You also see way higher bounce rates on pages with tons of options, like up to 50% higher compared to cleaner pages.
50% higher. That's half the people landing on your page and just leaving.
Gone.
It's a huge missed opportunity.
Huge. And like we said, even if they buy, they might not be happy and they might return it. Less confident in their choice. Fewer repeat purchases.
Yeah.
Lower lifetime value.
Okay, it's crazy. I feel like store owners, they have this idea that more options equals better service, but really it's making the experience worse.
It is. It's this misconception that more is better.
Yeah.
But it often just drives customers away.
Okay, so we get the psychology, we see the impact. Let's get real, let's get practical. What does this actually look like on a typical Shopify store that you, listener, might be running right now?
All right, let's name the culprits.
Okay.
Number 1, too many product variants. Think back to that t-shirt. 10 colors, 6 sizes, 4 fabrics, you're at 240 combinations. Too much.
Way too much. I'm getting a headache just picturing it.
Right. Another one, super complicated customization workflows.
Yes.
You've got a product that can be personalized, great. But if it takes a million steps with a million choices at each step,
People are going to bounce.
they're gone. And then we have drop-down hell. Those never-ending drop-down menus,
Yeah.
Just add one item to their cart, they're making like 10 decisions.
Ugh, I hate those.
Yeah.
It feels like you're like filing your taxes or
Yeah.
something.
And then there's feature comparison complexity.
Okay.
Several similar products, all with tons of features listed, but the key differences, not clear. Customers are lost.
Yeah.
Don't forget information overload in descriptions, walls of text, technical jargon.
It's just too much.
Too much, and even checkout can be a problem. Too many shipping options, too many payment methods.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not clear what the differences are, hesitation, abandonment,
Yeah.
even your site navigation can be a culprit. Too many categories and subcategories.
My God.
Customers can't even find what they're looking for.
It's like they get lost in a maze, yeah. And of course, we can't forget all of these problems, they just explode on mobile.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Limited space, tiny elements, choice overload goes into overdrive.
So for everyone listening right now, really look at your Shopify store. Try to see it through your customers' eyes. Where are you like unintentionally bombarding them with choices and losing sales?
Totally. Audit your product pages, customization processes, navigation, your checkout flow. Once you find those overwhelming areas, then you can start thinking about simplifying.
Okay, we found the problem areas. Let's talk solutions. Concrete, actionable strategies to simplify product options. Hit us with it.
All right, let's get tactical. First up, and maybe most important, use your sales data.
Okay.
What variants are popular? Which ones are duds? Get rid of the duds. It's like cleaning out your closet.
Yeah, I'd love a good closet clean out.
Right. Haven't worn it in a year. Donate it.
Yeah.
Same with products. Be data-driven.
Okay, love that. So don't offer everything under the sun. Just offer what people actually want. What else?
Progressive disclosure.
Ooh, tell me more.
Only show the essential options first,
Oh,
then reveal more choices as they become relevant or if the customer asks for them.
got it. So it's like you're leading them through the process step by step instead of hitting them with everything at once.
Exactly. Think about ordering food online. Pick your dish, then the sides and toppings.
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Makes total sense.
You can also create logical hierarchies. Structure your options the way customers think.
Okay.
Like the iPhone, model, storage, then color. Intuitive.
Yeah. What about like taking some of that decision-making burden off the customer completely?
Love that. Pre-select smart defaults. Set the most popular choice as the default.
Okay.
It significantly reduces decisions. You know how many people just stick with the defaults?
No, how many?
60% to 80%.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. So just that little nudge to make things easier?
Huge difference.
Huge.
You can also offer recommended configurations, like staff picks or most popular bundles.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a shortcut, right?
Yeah.
Provides social proof, too.
So you're kind of saying like, hey, other people love this combo. You might too.
Exactly.
Okay.
Strategic bundling's great, too. Mm-hmm.
Instead of a million customizations for each item, make bundles that work together.
Yeah.
And, super important, mobile-first approach.
Oh, yeah.
Design your options for mobile users first, then adapt for desktop.
Love it. Okay, these are all great strategies, but how do we actually make them happen on Shopify? Let's get a little technical, shall we?
Let's do it. You have several options, pun intended.
Nice.
First, Shopify's built-in variant management.
Okay.
It has limitations.
Mm-hmm.
You're limited to 3 option types,
Mm.
but you can still make it work.
Okay.
Choose your most important options.
Mm-hmm.
Use variant images to show the different choices.
Mm-hmm.
And accurate inventory tracking is key.
Yeah.
Automatically hide unavailable options.
Makes sense. So you can do a lot just with Shopify's basic tools.
Absolutely. But for like super advanced stuff,
Yeah.
check out apps in the Shopify App Store.
Okay. There's easy flow product options, conditional logic, more option types, dynamic product options, awesome for option dependencies and that progressive disclosure we talked about. And for complex visual customization,
Mm-hmm.
Product Customizer is your friend.
It seems like those apps give you much more control, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Way more granular. Now, if you're comfortable with coding, you can also customize your theme. You
Okay.
can edit the product-template.liquid file, use CSS for visual hierarchy, even JavaScript to show or hide options based on what the user does.
So many options. Pun intended again.
You wish you'd sit there.
But we can't forget about mobile, right?
Never.
What are some tips for that?
Ditch those drop-down menus on mobile.
Yeah.
Use swatch selectors, those visual buttons for colors, patterns.
Yeah, those are much easier to tap.
Way easier. And make sure all your buttons, options, everything is big enough to tap easily. Aim for at least 44 pixels by 44 pixels.
Okay.
Collapsible sections are great for hiding less important options until the customer needs them.
Love it. With all these technical tweaks, how do you make sure you're not messing up your site speed or breaking something?
Good question. Performance is crucial. Too many options can slow down your site, especially on mobile. That can hurt your search rankings and make customers leave. Always test any changes you make on different devices.
Okay.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
A/B testing. Always.
A/B testing, yes.
You need to see if your changes are actually working, right?
Yeah.
Use Shopify's built-in A/B testing or tools like Google Optimize. Compare your original and simplified pages and see which performs better.
Love it. Data-driven decisions.
Always.
All right. So we covered how to make the technical changes, but let's talk about making those options look good, easy to understand. That's where visual presentation comes in, right?
Big time. The best simplification strategy in the world won't work if it's confusing or ugly.
Yeah, nobody wants to use an ugly website.
Nope. You need
Right.
clear design. First up, visual hierarchy. Use different sizes, colors, spacing to distinguish between main options like size and color and less important ones like gift wrapping.
Okay, so the big decision should be visually, like front and center.
Exactly. Group similar options together. Use spacing, borders, background colors. Make it easy for the brain to scan. Think about color psychology. Contrasting colors highlight important choices.
Okay.
But don't go overboard. Too many colors is overwhelming too.
It's all about balance, right?
Yes. And we're seeing more and more visual options these days.
Totally. Yeah.
Image swatches are super effective.
Oh, yeah, those are nice.
Instead of just text for colors and patterns, show an actual image.
Mhm.
Studies show they can boost conversions by 40%.
Wow.
Big difference. If your selection has multiple steps, Use progress indicators. Let people know where they are in the process.
Yeah.
Makes it less overwhelming.
Totally. So they don't feel like they're just stuck in this endless loop of options.
Exactly. And again, optimize for touch on mobile. Make those selectors big enough to tap easily, that 44-pixel rule. And don't be afraid to visually highlight recommended options.
Oh, yeah.
Use highlights, badges, borders, draw the eye.
You mentioned stage disclosure before. How does visual design play into them?
So stage disclosure, right. It's about revealing options one at a time. Visual design makes that clear. Let's say a customer picks a color.
Yeah.
Only then do you show the sizes for that color. You can even make the sizes appear with a little animation so it's clear they're now available.
Yeah, keeps things nice and clean so you don't overwhelm people right off the bat.
Exactly. You can also use design to create what we call decision anchors.
Ooh, decision anchors. What are those?
So these are options that stand out a bit visually, like guideposts. They subtly influence choice without being pushy.
Okay, so like maybe the button for your most popular option is a little bigger or brighter?
You got it.
Got it. So these visual best practices, they sound good in theory, but do they actually work in the real world?
Oh, they totally work. We've seen some amazing case studies. Check this out. There's this fashion boutique selling T-shirts. They had like every color, size, fabric imaginable. 144 combinations.
Oh my gosh.
And their conversion rate, 1.2%.
Wow, that's really low.
Terrible, right? So what did they do? They cut down the colors to the best sellers, pre-selected the most popular fabric, ditched the text drop-downs for image swatches, and added a staff favorite section with pre-made outfits.
So basically they took everything we've talked about and put it into practice.
Exactly. And guess what? Their conversion rate jumped to 3.8%.
3.8% from 1.2%.
More than tripled. Plus, their average order value went up 12%.
That is a huge success story. Just
Right.
by simplifying, they basically tripled their sales.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay, give me another one.
Okay, how about an electronics store selling custom PCs?
Mm-hmm.
They had this super complex product builder, like 15 different decisions. Their cart abandonment rate, 82%.
Ouch, that's a lot of lost sales.
That's a killer. So they simplified, right? Made 3 pre-configured PCs, good, better, best.
I like that.
Added a progress bar, used clear language, added tooltips to explain the techie stuff.
Right.
Cart abandonment plummeted to 53%.
Wow.
And they had 41% fewer support calls about product configurations.
So it not only helped their sales, but it made their lives easier too.
Win-win. One more.
Yeah, hit me.
Okay, home goods store, custom rugs. They had options for everything. Material, size, pattern, border. Mobile conversion rate was a measly 0.8%.
Yikes. Okay, what do they do?
They rebuilt their mobile interface from scratch. Swipe through gallery for options, logical dependencies so you only saw relevant choices, and a big, most popular combination button.
Smart.
Mobile conversions soared to 2.4%.
2.4%.
Triple the conversions. Plus, people bought faster.
These stories are so inspiring. Okay, so for store owners out there,
Uh-huh.
how do you find that sweet spot between enough variety and not overwhelming your customer?
Good question. It's about finding the balance.
Yeah.
Experimentation, understanding your customers. Start by figuring out what's truly essential for your product.
Okay.
Like if you're selling clothes, sizes are essential. But 20 shades of the same color? Maybe not.
So focus on what your customers really need and want.
Yes. Use your collection strategically. Instead of cramming every variation into one product listing, create separate listings in well-defined collections.
Okay.
And talk to your customers.
Yes.
Surveys, heat maps, user testing, see what they like, what confuses them.
Customer feedback is gold.
It really is. You can also create the perception of choice.
Okay.
Curate a selection from your larger inventory. Show the best of the best.
Got it.
And different product categories, they might need different levels of complexity.
Right. Like a high-tech gadget's going to need more options than a pair of socks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can also segment your customers, new customers, maybe keep it simpler, returning customers. They might be ready for more options. And consider your profit margins. Don't offer a million niche options that barely sell and just complicate your life.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You mentioned the 80-20 rule before, right? How does that apply here?
Ah, good one. The 80-20 rule, right? 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts.
Mm-hmm.
For products, it often means 80% of your sales come from 20% of your variance.
Okay.
Find that top 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Make those options front and center.
Yeah.
Maybe even ditch the less popular 80%. It's a great way to simplify without sacrificing sales.
Love it. Once you think you've found that balance, how do you know if it's actually working?
Testing, testing, testing.
A/B testing.
A/B testing is your best friend.
Yeah.
Make one change at a time and use those tools we talked about to compare.
Mm-hmm.
But don't just look at overall conversions.
Right.
Track other metrics. How long does it take people to add to cart?
Okay.
What's your cart abandonment rate? How many customer support questions are about options? What are your return reasons?
So you're looking at the whole customer journey, not just the final sale.
Exactly. And don't forget qualitative feedback.
Use surveys, heat maps, session recordings, see how people interact with your options,
Yeah.
and segment your analysis. Are new customers reacting differently than returning customers?
Makes sense.
Mobile versus desktop. Find those patterns. Start small, test on your most popular products, and then scale up based on the data.
Okay.
You can even try multivariate testing to test different combinations at once.
Oh, wow.
Just be patient. Get enough data for those results to be meaningful. At least 100 conversions per variation.
Got it. So it's like this ongoing process, right?
It is.
Testing and learning and refining your approach.
Exactly. What works for one product or one group of customers might not work for another. Data and iteration are key.
Okay, let's talk about subtly guiding your customers to the best choices.
Choice architecture.
Yes. Without being manipulative, how do you do that?
Choice architecture is about presenting options strategically, making decisions easier.
Yeah, okay.
Strategic defaults are huge. Pre-select the most popular choice.
Most people stick with it. It's just easier.
We like easy.
We do.
Yeah.
Anchoring effects matter too. The first price or option someone sees sets a reference point.
Okay.
So put your preferred option first, make it stand out.
Got it.
Decoy options are sneaky but effective.
Tell me more about this sneakiness.
You add a third option that's intentionally worse.
Okay.
It makes your preferred option look even better.
Oh, that's so clever.
It's a classic. You can also use expert recommendations, stylist pick, editor's choice. It builds trust.
Yeah.
Social proof is powerful too. Highlight bestsellers, customer favorites,
Yeah.
scarcity signals like only 3 left. Create urgency.
Yeah, it gets people moving.
And personalized recommendations based on browsing history or past purchases can really help people find what they want.
So it's all about helping them find what they're truly looking for without the hassle.
Exactly. But, and this is important, ethical choice architecture is about helping, not manipulating. Make decisions easier, yes, but don't trick people into buying what they don't need. The goal is to help them choose confidently with less effort.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, for those who are ready to take things to the next level, what are some advanced strategies for optimizing those high-converting options?
Ooh, we're getting fancy now.
I know, this is exciting stuff.
There's dynamic personalization.
Okay.
Show different defaults or even different sets of options based on, like, browsing history, location, even the weather.
Wow.
It's about tailoring the experience.
Yeah, giving people exactly what they need when they need it.
You got it. There's also progressive profiling.
Oh.
Instead of hitting them with a ton of questions up front, you learn about their preferences over time, bit by bit.
Makes sense.
One-click reordering with saved options is a game changer for repeat customers.
Oh, yeah. I love that as a customer.
Right. Makes it so easy. For subscriptions, simplify that initial choice. Convert them to recurring, then they can adjust later. Guided selling wizards, where you ask questions to narrow down the perfect product, are great for complex stuff.
Okay.
You could also try a 2-stage checkout. Keep the initial selection simple, then let them customize more in the next step.
Interesting.
And make sure your options are consistent across all your channels, website, app, marketplaces. Seamless experience, you know?
Totally. What about all these new technologies popping up? Like, how can we use them to our advantage?
Oh, the future is exciting. AI-powered recommendations plus simplify options. That's a winning combo.
Give me an example.
Let's say you're selling clothes, right? Instead of showing every single shirt and pants combo, AI can suggest complete outfits.
Oh, like a virtual stylist?
Exactly. It simplifies, plus it can increase your average order value.
Love it.
But remember, with all this fancy stuff, planning, implementation, testing, they're all key. Make sure it actually works.
Always be testing. So what are some of the big trends you see coming up in this whole world of product optimization?
Ooh, lots of cool stuff. AI recommendations are only getting smarter. They'll predict exactly what a customer wants with crazy accuracy. Predictive option selection, where the system pre-selects based on tons of data, will become the norm. Augmented reality.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's talking about AR.
People will see customized products in their own space before they buy. Amazing for complex products. Voice search and selection, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, like, Alexa, find me the perfect coffee mug.
Exactly. Behavioral analytics will go deeper too, using eye tracking, mouse movements to understand how people interact with